Last week I was angry. This week, just defeated. Welcome to a postgame episode of Lombardi Time Brews. Following the Packers and Jets, no, let's not even call it that. Let's just call it the Jets game because the Packers didn't bother to show up today. As part of the 27-10 win for the New York Jets. This is not going to be a long video. Like I said in the intro, last week I was angry. There were lots of things to rant about, lots of things to critique, and there are several more this week, but at what point is there just a level of acceptance that this isn't that good of a team? That there are large organizational issues at hand. You know, a few of the thoughts that I had during the game was, especially early on, if Aaron Rodgers can't grip a football, if he can't throw, and there were throws that he made during the game that were good, but there were some that were just comically off. If he can't play, don't play him. Because the whole thing with football is if you're going to play injured, you're still going to be judged on how you play. He didn't play well today. There's no denying it. He did not play well today. And I know, behind the offensive line, for God's sakes, would someone get Royce Newman off the field? What the hell are we still experimenting with? If Yash can play right tackle, put him at right tackle, put Elton Jenkins back at guard. I don't even give a crap which side anymore. But get Royce Newman off the field. And then, thankfully, Royce Newman gets injured, or not injured, Royce Newman gets benched. Oh, and they put in Jake Hansen. They did one of the things that everyone was calling for. And then they downgraded somehow? Because they just don't want to play Zach Tom? What the hell did Zach Tom do to somebody? Maybe they weren't comfortable mid-game switching Elton back to guard. I don't care. I just don't care. And even me saying I don't care kind of feels like I still care a little bit more than they do. Which is perhaps the most damning part of this whole thing. You know, last week, over the last couple of weeks, we talked about how this team they get punched in the mouth, and then you see it. You see one of those classic plays where Aaron Rodgers, spokesman of the team, everything that he's supposed to be, right? Throws an incomplete pass, then he just goes, yeah, we know. You're more disturbed than angry. Okay, sure, whatever. Who on this team is angry? Really? Because I'm not sure that I've seen a Green Bay Packer team play with less soul and heart and energy or any of the words that you want to say to describe that big thing that we all kind of know what it means and no one can define. I'm not sure we've ever seen a Packer team give less. A.J. Dillon looked exhausted the entire game. Aaron Jones had 4 first-half touches, and it is going to be comical to know. You just know that in the post-game press conference, LaFleur is going to say that they have to figure out how to get Aaron Jones more touches. Yeah, we know. And this isn't a campaign that just run the ball saves everything, because it doesn't. The receivers deserve some blame, sure, but certainly not all. There are plays where they're getting open, and Rodgers just isn't throwing it to him. And then Then there are times where if his name is Alan Lazard, Rodgers is going to throw to you no matter what. I mean, there was one play, I forget what quarter it was in, but Rodgers was rolling out to the right, and he had no one. I mean, we're talking like Sahara Desert open around him. And him, rather than taking his old ass, like going 8 yards down the field and running, he threw it into double coverage. Even if you complete that ball, it's good for like 12 yards. If you would have run, you would have gotten like 8 of them. What is the point of what you are doing? Like, this offense is straight up broken. Matt LaFleur at this juncture, who is an offensive schemer, it's his thing. And again, I'm going to qualify this. I'm not saying he should be fired. But right now, his job performance is certainly subpar. The offensive schemer himself is at a complete loss as to what to do with his players. He got out-coached by his little brother. And you know what his little brother's willing to do? Willing to chalk up some exotic plays? I didn't see anything that was like a straight up trick play, but exotic plays, different looks. Boy, how exciting that must be to have a game plan that looks like that. Because it certainly isn't the one that Matt on the LaFleur family tree called up today. And I think he's at a loss. I think he doesn't know how to solve his offense right now. And then you look at the defensive side of the ball. Holy crap, Joe Barry adjusted. He listened. First half, they were ultra aggressive. Jair was traveling with Garrett Wilson. I mean, really good things. Rashawn Gary was getting after it. Preston Smith made a number of plays. Devondre Campbell. Devondre Campbell made a couple tackles and then missed a couple more because that's all he does anymore. But defensively, in the second half, they just forgot. Like, they did all these good things in the first half. They were getting after Zach Wilson. They were tackling Breece Hall well, right? And then all of a sudden we get into the second half and the Jets kind of upped their play calling. They did. There's no denying it. Robert Saleh had his guys ready to go. The offensive game plan for the Jets kind of transformed as the game went on, and they got better. This wasn't just the Packers defense getting worse. It was they got better. But you know what the Packer defense did? Or what it might as well should have done. Shrivel up and die. Because it did nothing to help its own cause. Darnell Savage looks absolutely positively lost at this juncture. Hell, even Rashawn Gary, as they mentioned on the telecast, bit too far inside too many times. And he played an overall really good game. But there are several plays that you can go back and watch that he bit too far inside and then the Jets run right around the outside. Because the Packers defenders don't set an edge. You almost never heard Kenny Clark's name called in this game. And it's against an interior offensive line that's been struggling. I mean, not terribly, but this isn't like an all Pro Bowl line. Kenny Clark should have been able to have a Quinnen Williams type game. And he couldn't do it. And Devondre Campbell last year, you know, when he would get stiff-armed, he would drive through the individual stiff-arming him and tackle him. And now he's got to stay an arm lengths away. The Green Bay Packers are complacent. They are boring. Today's display was pathetic. Several of the people on this team just don't. Right now, they're just not living up to the mantle of the Green Bay Packers. It's just sad. And until they can find it within themselves to actually look like they give a crap, It's not going to get better. It's just not. One thing I can say very honestly before I hop off, that footage of Randall Cobb getting out of the cart and driving off, oh, that was heartbreaking. A guy who is getting into his groove, looking younger. You just hope that that injury isn't that bad. You hope he's able to come back. But this is not the Green Bay Packer team that we have fallen in love with over all these years. This is not the Green Bay Packers that we know. This team's broken. And if they just play it off this week, that relax, it's fine. No, it's not. It's not. Not until you change. So, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stop talking about Packers now. I'm going to go find something else to do. I'm going to make my day better. And I hope you do too. I will dive back into this game tomorrow morning. I'll be back tomorrow afternoon with a breakdown video. If you're a believer in any type of spiritual entity, say some positive vibes from me, because I'm going to rewatch this game in the morning. And I'll be back tomorrow afternoon with a breakdown and some thoughts. I may not like this team right now, but I still love this team. So we'll sign off today how we always do. As always, go Pack Go.